Okay, true to my word, I am uploading back-to-back videos. Hello there, I'm Tiffany Mercure. If you are just now stopping on our channel, that was a funny intro I gave. But this is Raining Rivers Ministry, where we just want to speak whatever is on God's heart for us to speak. So that could be signs, dreams, wonders, testimonies, visions, healings, or prophecies. Whatever's flowing from the heart of God to us and through us to get out to you. That's what we want to do, because we want to see you encouraged and built up in your faith and strongly rooted in the love of Jesus. And of course, his word, first and foremost, his word above all other word. Now, I will say I tend to encounter people who already believe in God, whereas Chris is just surrounded by people who don't know God. Some of them have never really even heard who Jesus is. Is he God? Is he a prophet? He encounters more unbelievers. I tend to be sent out to encounter believers who need to be stirred up in their faith and reminded of maybe they gave their life to Jesus at a young age and they have definitely fallen off track. And I've been there, so I can relate. I can relate to that. And so this testimony that I want to tell you is when I went into a New Age Salon, which was in March. And my next appointment is coming up this Friday. So maybe there's going to be add-ons to this testimony. Won't that be fun to just keep it going? But I go and, the thing is, I was looking for a salon for years. I mean, for like going on 3 years since COVID, because, everything shut down. And then once things were starting back up or reopening, I wanted to see my stylist, but that salon was literally closed. I guess COVID, unfortunately, had closed that salon down. So I'm here looking for a stylist. I went here and I went there in the interim, and it just didn't quite fit. The haircut wasn't what I was looking for, that kind of thing. So a couple times I battled around this idea, like, should I go to this New Age salon that just opened? They actually opened during COVID, but I was like, no, the Lord isn't leading me there, And then I run out of options. I just ran out of options. And so finally, I asked the Lord, I say, Lord, are you leading me to go to this New Age salon? And I know it's New Age because you go online and it talks about healing crystals for the, the massages and stuff like that. And it's just super New Agey, And anyway, so I actually asked the Lord, and I really felt him leading me to go there and even giving me words of knowledge immediately. Like, you're going to meet this person and this person needs healing. And so I'm already charged, with words of knowledge based on just sitting with the Lord and asking him, do you want me to go? Who am I going to encounter? And I felt like I was going to meet someone, or my stylist was going to be someone who believed in God, but just didn't, wasn't walking out her faith. So sure enough, I go there and, I'm wearing my pearl earrings just like I have been lately. And fun fact, did you know pearls represent sharing the gospel? I was reminded of that after this, event that I'm going to tell you about. But pearls represent sharing the gospel, so that's fun. But anyway, I'm mentioning that because I know I look super square, okay? I know I look like homeschool Christian mom waltzing into a New Age salon. I know what I look like, okay? I don't have different colors in my hair. I don't have any tattoos. I don't look New Age. I don't look New Age. There's a look, okay? Let's be honest. There's a look. And so I go into the salon and, I make the appointment online and everything. And, my stylist even mentioned about how she doesn't get along with her one sister because they're just different. They're different people. This one sister wears pearls even. And I'm laughing and I'm sitting there. I'm as I'm wearing pearls and I'm laughing. And she goes, oh no, I didn't mean to offend you. She didn't say that. She just was like, oh no, I'm sorry. I'm just socially awkward. I said, I'm not offended. I promise you, I really don't care. I mean, I just started wearing my pearl earrings. I just start having conversation with her. So it's not awkward because I don't care. If someone doesn't like my pearl earrings, I'm going to wear them anyway. Okay. So I'm sitting there and she starts talking about babies or something, or asks me how I came across the salon, because I look out of place, y'all. I do. And I tell her, well, you're super close to me. And I'm scrolling down the list of stylists and trying to figure out, does someone have curly hair? Because I actually naturally have curly hair. I'll just straighten it out because it's easier to maintain for a couple days. You know, nobody likes that like day after curl look. Or maybe you do if you've got that kind of amazing hair. But my hair doesn't like it. So I have to like redo it daily for it to look nice curly, right? So I'm looking for a stylist that looks like they have curly hair, who can cut curly hair. And then I come across this stylist picture and she's holding her baby son. So I'm like, oh, she probably understands postpartum hair. So I book her, and this is the one that I'm meeting, right, at the salon. So I'm sitting in her chair, and she asks me, you know, how I came across her as a stylist, and I tell her, I felt like you might know something about postpartum hair because, like, hair is breaking and all kinds of stuff. The split ends have split ends. Just, my hair was just a mess, okay? It was a mess. I was trimming my own hair for, like, weeks and weeks, months, really, months, because I was trying to find a stylist. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, and she said, oh yeah, girl, I understand postpartum hair. And she goes on to talk about how her hair is breaking in the same spot. And as she's talking about babies and postpartum, the Lord impresses on my spirit, twins run in her family. And and I just felt it now. It's just like the Lord just was on this conversation with her, you know? And I say, she pauses and I say, do twins run in your family? And she goes, oh, you gave me the chills the way you said that. Yes, twins run in my family. How did you know that? And I said, I had a feeling they do. And honestly, I feel like you might have twins one day. And I don't typically talk about babies or gender of a baby that I feel like impressed that the person's going to have. I just don't. I've even heard that, you know, you're not supposed to do that. But if the Lord is impressing on your spirit to say it, who am I to? I'm not going to quench the Holy Spirit, you know? And he was impressing it on me at that moment to say that. And she just was like, how do you know that? And I told her, you know, sometimes this happens. Like the Lord impresses things on my spirit. Just spiritually, I feel him speaking about something. And I said, actually, does someone here have a problem with their leg? They have leg pain. And she goes, yeah, she does. And she like points behind her. And so I said, do you think she'd let me pray for her? And she goes, I don't think so. Like, you know, and mind you, you know, I'm surrounded by, you know, the music is super, you know, rock and roll or whatever, or emo. It's something I don't listen to clearly. There's pictures on the wall that are deemed artistic, but, you know, spiritually, my spiritual discernment is saying this is not good, okay? The artistry, the artist's work. But then there's also aspects of that's like, wow, the Lord really gifted the owner of the store. I didn't meet her, but she's very gifted in creativity. So there's that, right? Anyway, that's just a side note. So she tells me that this woman has leg pain, and the woman overheard us. Actually, she went over to her and she said, do you still have that pain in your leg? Is it your left leg? I thought I saw left leg, but it was her right leg. And she's like, yeah, it's still there. I still have pain. She was not like immediately like, oh yeah, does she want to pray for me? You know, she wasn't on that kind of plane. Okay. And so my stylist comes back and that's when I asked, do you think she'd let me pray for her for healing? And she's like, I don't think so. I don't know. So we go on to keep talking. We keep talking. And, you know, she's telling me how she came to Georgia from the north. You know, I'm from up north as well. And as she's talking and telling me how she met her husband, I said something to the effect of, because she was talking about sleep and, you know, having a baby, it's hard to get sleep. And I said, did you have night terrors when you were little? And she said, I did. And I said, and you still struggle with nightmares, and you wake up feeling just totally depleted of rest, and you wake up feeling defeated and kind of lost and fearful. And she said, yeah. And I said, well, before I leave, I would love to pray with you. If you want those dreams to go away, like I want to pray with you that they do. And she was just appreciative. She was like, sure, yeah, sure. She was totally open. The Lord totally had touched her heart to receive words of knowledge, and only he can do that, you know? I've had plenty of experiences, I promise you, where I feel like I'm supposed to say something to someone, and it's a word of knowledge, it's from the Lord, but it's not the right time. And that's really awkward, okay? This was not awkward. I was very much aware that I didn't fit in there, but she also was very understanding that I probably feel that way. And it was just a really good time. I had a blast at this new age salon, and she, did my hair wonderful, super talented. And then, at the end, I was just praying for her. I prayed that the night terrors, I'm totally missing out on this moment where the woman whose leg was injured, she wound up coming up to me then. I feel like she had to warm up to the idea of me praying for her because she was overhearing and listening to what I was saying to my stylist during this about roughly an hour the time I was there. And, I don't blame her, right? Like, I don't blame her for that. And she wound up coming up to me and she said, yeah, you were asking before, it's my right leg. It's like, I had an injury gardening in my back, and I think they said it's some kind of a hernia. And so I asked her if I could pray for her, and she was willing. That's all you can ask. She was willing that I pray for her. She said she'd have to see, so I'll let you know. Like I said, I have an appointment on Friday. I'll let you know what transpired from the last time I was there until when I go back. But she said that she'd have to, try to move and use it the way that she had, or just find out probably towards the end of the day when it hurts. So she let me pray for her though, and it was great. There were plenty of eyes, plenty of ears. People were listening. People were watching. People wanted to know, who am I? What am I talking about? Like, who is this woman? Talking about Jesus. Who is this man, Jesus? He was in the room, and he touched my stylist, and so I prayed for her at the end. He totally was touching her heart, and she was weeping. And I'm not going to tell you what exactly Holy Spirit had in me pray over her because it's personal, but she was weeping and she was very much touched by it. And that's all we can ask for, is to love people well, for the Lord to show us how to love people well. And I hope this testimony has encouraged you. And I pray over you now, Jesus. I pray over everyone watching that you will just light them up inside with your words of knowledge, Holy Spirit. By the Spirit come all kinds of gifts. We thank you for each and every gift, Holy Spirit. They're immeasurable, innumerable, vast, so deep, so wide is your love for us. We will never know the end of it. Help us to walk in your love so that we can spread the gospel in wisdom, in love, in peace, in joy, in faithfulness in your Holy Spirit, fellowshipping with you, Holy Spirit, because you are the one who wrote the word. You came as the living word, Jesus. Help us to represent you well by knowing your word and being ones who give word, fitly spoken, in season, apples of silver on settings of gold, in your name and to your glory.